Before we go any further, quick disclaimer, so nobody loads up and throws a Z-mount at their screen. This is my opinion, not a leak, not insider confirmation, just connecting the dots based on how Nikon actually behaves and how the current lineup works in the real world. Have you noticed something strange in Nikon land lately? We're deep into the Z system now. Bodies refreshed, firmware updates everywhere, new lenses rolling out steadily, and yet still no Z7 III. No teaser, no roadmap hint, no credible whisper, and the longer this goes on, the clearer one thing becomes. If a Z7 III happens at all, it's not coming soon. Originally, the Z7 had a very clean mission. High resolution above all else. 45 megapixels, huge dynamic range, beautiful, flexible files. It was the mirrorless heir to the D850 mindset. Not fast, not flashy, just brutally good image quality. The Z7 II refined that idea, but it didn't redefine it. Dual processors, dual cards, smoother operation, useful improvements, but not the generational leap people were hoping a Z7 III would eventually bring. And even back then, the conversation had already shifted to, okay, what would a real Z7 III actually need? Better autofocus, a noticeably better EVF, X-Speed 7, faster overall response, pixel shift done properly. Basically, a modernized shooting experience without turning it into a speed monster. Fast forward, and Nikon eventually delivered almost all of that. They just didn't call it the Z7 III. The Z8 lands, and suddenly the entire conversation changes. Same resolution class everyone expected from a Z7 successor, but now it's stacked, it's fast, it's blackout-free, autofocus is Z9 level, no mechanical shutter, no hesitation, no excuses. And here's the uncomfortable business reality. As long as the Z8 is selling well, and it is, Nikon has absolutely no incentive to release a Z7 III that looks anything like a Z6 III style update. That kind of move would put Z8 sales directly in jeopardy. Same price neighborhood, similar resolution, fewer compromises. That's not lineup clarity. That's cannibalism. So if you're wondering why Nikon hasn't pulled the trigger yet, that's the real reason. Not technical limitations, not supply issues, positioning. That said, and this is where a little hope creeps in, this situation won't last forever. But let's be clear about something. I do not see 2026 as a realistic option at all. Not for a Z7 III. The Z8 still has runway. Nikon is actively selling it as the do-everything, high-resolution pro body. Releasing a Z7 III in 2026, we either force it to be intentionally limited, which photographers would hate, or too capable, which Nikon would hate. So where does that leave the timeline? If a Z7 III exists in Nikon's future, the earliest believable window is 2027, and even that assumes several things fall into place. First, the biggest one is iteration at the top of the lineup. Once a Z9 II arrives, Z8 sales naturally slow. People hesitate. They start waiting. They assume a Z8 II must be coming next. Even if Nikon never confirms it, that pause in buying behavior is exactly the kind of sales softness Nikon would need before introducing something like a Z7 III. That's the opening, not before. But even then, the bigger question remains. Which Z7 III are we talking about? There have been at least 2 different Z7 type development paths explored at different times, and they didn't even use the same sensor. That alone tells you Nikon hasn't locked in a single vision. Faster readout versus traditional high-resolution efficiency. Different priorities, different compromises. If Nikon ever does bring the Z7 name back, it won't be because people on the internet asked loudly enough. It'll be because the lineup needs it again. And right now, it doesn't. The most honest bottom line I can give you is this. I know of no information that suggests a Z7 III is imminent. No credible signals, no timelines, no quiet confirmation hiding in firmware updates. If it happens, it'll happen slowly, deliberately, and likely much later than people want. 2027 at the earliest, and possibly not at all. So the real question isn't, when is the Z7 III coming? It's whether Nikon still believes a slower, high-resolution flagship deserves its own space in a world where cameras like the Z8 already exist. And that's where I want to hear from you. Do you want the Z7 philosophy back? Or do you think that Nikon has already closed that chapter for good? Drop your take in the comments. I read them, even the spicy ones. And if you shoot Nikon Z and want more no hype, real world conversations like this, hit subscribe so you don't end up waiting for cameras that might still be years away.